I'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. In light of National Black HIV Awareness Day, we're here at Total Healthcare. How are you, sir?
Pretty good, thank you. Glad to be here.
And who are you?
I'm Dennis Cherot, CEO of Total Healthcare.
No, not the one and only.
They're the one and only, that's right.
Good deal. First of all, let's just get an overview of Total Healthcare. How's 2011 been?
Well, 2011 has been a good year for us. We have 30,000 patients that come into our facility. We have 9 sites throughout the city, all over the city, to provide services to as convenient as possible to our patients. About a wide range of services. I mean, we're talking about HIV this particular. We provide HIV quick testing services and treatment for our patients. But in addition, we can get any kind of primary health care services here at Total Healthcare. You know, we can get you internal medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, mental health, substance abuse. We have pharmacies at 5 of our sites, you know, and it says that mental health services. So anything you need, you can get here.
As well as dental?
And dental, that's scarce. That's the one else we get.
Nutritionist?
Very, very important, because dental services are very important. People think overlook dental services, but it's very important to your overall health. So we want to make sure that everybody, you know, people don't like to go to the dentist, but we try to encourage them as many as possible to come, because it's a very important part of getting your services for the overall services for the patient.
And for the sake of education, no one is turned away?
I beg your pardon?
For the sake of conversation, no one is turned away?
No one is turned away. We have a responsibility to provide care to anyone who, regardless of their ability to pay. For those that are interested, we have we make a determination about what, if any, the amount an individual can pay for the services. We receive money from the federal government to underwrite the cost of the care for those particular services. So the bottom line is, don't worry about whether you can afford to pay for it. Come in and we'll take care of it for you. You know, we're not going to turn anybody away.
And just as a matter of example, when Secretary Sebelius came to town on that particular day, I learned that State Senator Verna L. Jones is a former client.
Oh yeah, right. That's right. She was. Yeah. As a matter of fact, most people in Baltimore were a former client of Total Healthcare at one time or another.
Good deal.
So we're very proud of that.
Who's this gentleman across the table from you?
This is Mr. Rick Reeves from United Healthcare. Yeah.
Rick, how are you?
I'm great.
We're up here at the Mondawmin location and bringing attention to the National Black HIV Awareness Day. Your thoughts?
Well, we really embrace and applaud the work that Total Healthcare does. They're a great partner with us at United Healthcare here in Maryland. And we really support their efforts. As Dennis mentioned, Total Healthcare provides comprehensive care, very preventive care. They coordinate the care. As I mentioned, he covers everything from health care to mental health services through dental care. And they play a huge role in the battle against HIV/AIDS here in Maryland. And that's in large part why we're so happy to support Total Healthcare's interest here.
You gave an impassioned segment to your speech out front whereby you can speak about HIV and its impact on your very own circle of friends and family.
Well, it touches everyone. As I mentioned, you know, it's touched over 1.7 million people nationwide. Closer to home, I had a sister who had a very dear friend that was a victim of HIV/AIDS. She contracted disease from her husband and unknowingly was untreated, and by the time she learned about it, the disease had progressed to the point where she lost the battle with it. And so it's touched us very close to home in my family.
HIV no doubt impacts not just the individual, but their circle around them, their family, their friends.
Everyone casts a shadow. And, you know, to the extent that it not only affects certainly the person who lives with the disease, but everyone around them. It's a painful process for everyone.
You know, the city of Baltimore is fourth in the country in terms of HIV and AIDS infections.
Yeah, and I think it's very important to understand that although the disease affects everyone, you know, there's a disproportionate number of blacks who contract the disease. We represent 13% of the population in the country, but we represent about 49% of the cases, you know, and so it's something that we ought to be very much cognizant of, you know. I think that, you know, there's another thing that I want to make sure that get across to people. There's a tendency not to want to get tested because people don't want to know. you know. And, you know, in the years past, it was considered something that was really more affecting the gay community, but that's no longer the case, you know. And to the degree that we can be proactive in relation to getting our people over the hump in relation to realizing this is a disease like any other and should be treated like any other is a very important thing, you know. So we want to make sure that we get that message across, educate people about what the disease is about, you know, what the impact is, and really drum home the fact that they need to come in and get tested so that they can find out, so they don't have a situation like Rick where they inadvertently pass it to a loved one and doesn't even know.
Your thoughts on the city of Baltimore and the education and testing that's no doubt necessary given our high ranking nationally?
Well, as Dennis mentioned, I think there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of myths, a lot of concern about HIV/AIDS. And the most we can, one of the most important things we can do is educate folks about the disease, to dispel the stigma around it.
Good deal. Any final thoughts?
No, I think we pretty much said it all. I think it's, you know, get tested, get treated, you know, get involved in the community. You know, I also want to put a message out to our churches. You know, the church has a great deal of impact on the black community, and I think we need our churches to get behind the idea of drumming home the importance of dealing with disease and not necessarily overlooking it. And I think that too much of that happens. We're getting better at that particular respect. We have a long way to go. So I mean, the idea is just reinforcing it on all levels, that this is something we need to address.
On behalf of the community, we just want to take the opportunity and thank you for providing total health care and providing many different services that poor and impoverished communities might not otherwise get. Thank you.
Well, listen, we're glad to do it. That's what we're here for.
Good deal. Keep watching BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.